Greetings! If you're new to the channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. My name is Eric Moss. I'm a modern day performing strongman. What that basically means is I perform feats of strength like bending steel bars, breaking chains, and that sort of thing as part of a live show. Think of the sort of thing that they used to do about 100 years ago with performers like the mighty Adam and Alexander Zass, but with a modern day twist. So part of being a performing strongman is I wanted to start a YouTube series where I chronicle my shows so that people know that performing strongman is still a thing. It's not a dead art. It's just not that common. And part of that also is I had encouraged people to ask me questions and stuff like that so that it gives me, well, one, it helps me get found by the algorithm. Two, it lets me know what kinds of things you guys want to know about. And three, it helps me share my knowledge because I have a unique perspective when it comes to this sort of thing. So this question comes from a YouTube user named Callbook. He says, "Hi Eric, what would you say is the most useful form of physical strength for a modern day performing strongman, i.e. grip, leg power, shoulder strength, etc.? Also, would you know what the best way to start out as a strongman is? I don't have the strength yet to perform most feats, but I'm looking for the best way to develop it." Thank you for asking, and it's actually one of the reasons I wanted to start a YouTube series or a video series to answer questions is because when people ask questions, a lot of times the answer is a bit more complex than can be left as a comment. So you get your own video. Cool, right? So, to answer the first part of the question. So, grip, leg power, shoulder strength, or what the best form of physical strength is. Whatever the weakest link in the chain is, and it sort of also depends on the feats themselves. You see, each one of the feats is going to have different characteristics, and it's going to have different requirements when it comes to performing it. Like as an example, my one-handed human link, that is primarily grip. When it comes to ripping decks of cards, that's going to be a mixture of pinch and the ability to do that. Bending steel in the thigh is going to depend on the ability to transfer force through your torso, through your hands, through your wrists, etc. So that's going to be a bit of wrist strength as well. Rolling up frying pan, same thing. The horseshoes is going to be a mixture of being able to do that while pushing and pulling and grip to prevent it from rotating in your hands. I'm trying to think, what other feats do I do? Yeah, the scrolls are going to be like whatever angles you can do. It's good to have a good base when it comes to that because different feats have different requirements, but you still want to have a base of strength. So kind of going with that, you know, like you heard me say, the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So think about it this way. Movement occurs from your brain sends a command signal through your central nervous system to tell your motor units to contract your muscle fibers. Your muscle fibers contract, which pulls on tendon, which pulls on bone, and that is how all movement occurs. Overwatching the chain is like these governing mechanisms to make sure that we don't exceed our structural capabilities. And the average person is only able to contract like maybe 25% of their given potential. So, for a lot of people, I mean, they're just untrained, but I'll tell you this, and this is one of the things that Slim told me. Slim was the greatest student of a legendary strongman named the Mighty Adam. Mighty Adam could do things like bite through spikes and chains and stuff like that. If you type his name into YouTube, you can even find footage of him doing that sort of thing in his old age. So Slim says to me, he's like, "Son, did you know that you have a power within you that is equal to every strongman in history, including me?" This was the secret that he learned from the Mighty Adam. And I was like, "What are you talking about, Slim?" And he says, "There's numerous times throughout history where ordinary people are able to perform superhuman feats of strength when put into life and death situations." He's like, "It's gotta make you wonder, if that power is within them, isn't it in you too? Then the question becomes, how do you bring it out? So call book, when you say that you don't have the strength yet to perform most feats, but I'm looking for the best way to develop it, I think that you're mistaken. You do have the strength, but right now it's your mind that's holding you back. Your mind is the weakest link in the chain because you don't believe that you can do it. And when you don't believe that you can do it, you don't quite give it your all, you hold yourself back. So, the best way for you to get started out as a strongman would be to get a coach. And the coach that I would recommend would be Hercules Chris Ryder. You can get in touch with him on his website. I can leave it in the comments below. And one of the things with Chris is, well, for one thing, he's helped me tremendously. You know, like I learned bending steel from Greg, but everything that I learned about ripping things, I attribute directly to Chris's coaching. Me breaking chains with my chest, I attribute directly to Chris's coaching. Greg did give me a good base that Chris expanded upon, but he's a very, very technical and detailed coach. It could be technique errors that you might be making, and Chris is able to fix them. I've tried to coach people, I'm not anywhere close to where Chris is with the feats when it comes to coaching them and actually performing them. The man's not from this planet. I'm convinced of it. I actually think that might be kind of his secret, is he can actually kind of notice the little subtleties without having to go into crazy mode to bend the things like I have to. So yeah, that would be the best way to get started. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. If you have any follow-up questions or anything like that, drop it in the comments below. If anybody else has any questions, drop it in the comments below. It helps me get found by the algorithm. It lets me know what kinds of things you guys want to know about. But in the meantime, please stay happy, stay healthy, stay strong. Please stay safe, everyone. Eric Moss, over and out.